Hello, my name is Neil Sullivan, and I'm the CEO of Leadership Connection. And what I'd like to share with you today are a few of the components that happen in our typical monthly Leadership Connection group. Now, how you apply it can be according to your needs. But what I'd like to do is give you a little framework as to the three components that typically happen within a Leadership Connection group. The first component is what we call a spiritual check-in. And simply, that's just getting after the question, how are you really doing in your own relationship with Jesus? What we have found in working with thousands of leaders around the world is that very seldom do pastors or executives of nonprofit ministries get asked the question, how are you personally doing with your own relationship with Jesus? And very seldom are they asked that question in a setting that is safe enough for them to be honest. What we find is that oftentimes they're doing great, and yet also at other times, maybe the only time they're praying is when somebody's in their office. And every pastor goes through those hills and valleys. And at Leadership Connection, what we do is we create safe places for kingdom leaders such as yourself to do life and ministry together in authentic ways with individuals that understand their world and can speak into it. And so we get after that question from a lot of different angles, a lot of different ways to ask that question and to communicate that with one another. But that's the first component of a Leadership Connection gathering. Another one is what we call an issue opportunity process. Now, this is a very, very effective, efficient, practical, pragmatic process, tool for you to simply have that group become like a group of advisors to you on your specific situation at that specific time. And the way we do it is everybody comes into the meeting and they sign up on a board. Hey, here's the one thing that I want to work on with my group here. And we ask 4 framing questions of that person. First is, tell us what's the issue, and put it in the form of a question so we can really get our minds around helping you answer that. The second is, what's some of the background that you've already attempted on this issue so that we're not recreating the wheel for you, right? The third is, ideally, what would be the ideal outcome of that issue for you if you could achieve that? And then finally, what do you want from us today as your group of peer advisors? So those are the framing questions for the person whose topic it is. And then the group will ask some clarifying questions around that. And we'll spend some time in prayer, just asking God to speak to us and through us to you on that topic. And then the group will spend 30, 45 minutes, however long it takes to provide ideas and inputs and resource and contacts and maybe mistakes they've made for you to avoid, whatever it might be. They'll just share with you. And typically we chart that all up on a flip chart or some document. And then at the end of that time, we'll ask you, what's 1 or 2 or 3 things you've heard from God through this process that you commit to doing on that issue and coming back 30 days later and telling the group about it. So that's the second component of a Leadership Connection group, and we call it an issue opportunity process or an IO process. And the third is we just pour resources in. And it could be something like a book, it could be a video, it could be a speaker, it can be something that somebody in the group brings to present, and it just helps the group grow as leaders. And that is what a typical Leadership Connection group is comprised of on a monthly basis. If you'd like to know more about participating in or leading a Leadership Connection group, check out our website at leadconnect.org. But most importantly, we desire for you that you have this safe place where you can do your life and your ministry together with others in authentic ways so that you can achieve the full potential of your call. Blessings.